I would request Mr. Zahoor to come in and give his opening remarks.
Good evening, everyone here. I'm the odd man out here, all eminent, educationists, and I will bring my perspective from the industry. Thank you very much for calling me to this event. Now, before we actually get into this subject of what education, how education, the methods, the delivery, I think one thing is very important, that we need to align the need of an industry. So we need to understand the industry. Interestingly, the last 10 years, we've been fortunate or unfortunate enough to see this roller coasters of two economic slumps. We have seen two economic slump roller coasters. That was 1996, 97, and then again we saw it again in 2002, 2003. Now these two roller coasters brought phenomenal changes in the market, and we've been experiencing it, and these two changes, these changes, actually, what it brought for an industry, and I can tell you, number one, and that was speed for change. The customers around the world are expecting very quick results. You had Nokia, one of the most respected company in the world, but the company like Samsung came in and killed it left, right, and center. Is that because they brought the products well in the market before the use cases that customer could decide? They had the product out in the market. So speed for change was one of the paradigm shift post this roller coaster. The second thing which brought change was the very important change was the customers became extremely demanding. Extremely demanding, and I'm sure at some point of time the companies used to have 10-15% of bench strengths, and that bench strength concept has gone out of the company. So companies have actually again become extremely demanding when they go out to the campus and pick up the students, because the customer has become demanding. So these are the paradigm shift which has actually happened post this roller coaster. But what has actually on the ground, what has changed? When I was in my school, I was taught some basic principles which changed on the business principles on the ground. I was taught survival of fittest. But in last 10 years, I think that philosophy, management philosophy has changed, that business philosophy has changed, and that business philosophy has converted from survival of fittest to the survival of fastest. The other paradigm which we saw the change was one was survival from fittest to survival from fastest. The other thing which I was taught in my school was look before you leap. Now with this change, the customer became extremely demanding, the speed for change, what it brought on the ground was look as you leap from look before you leap. And the third important change which we have seen, and I will drive the point from this third point, is in the olden days, or rather maybe about 5-7 years back, the route to the CEO's office, route to the CEO's office was through the office of a CFO or a marketing office. That has changed. The route is not through a CFO or a CMO, it is from a CTO. Now what does this derive? This derives those companies will survive, thrive, who will invest a lot on innovation side. So again, the research, innovation has become extremely critical and important. When we go to the campuses, I can tell you, we've been on a recruiting drive, and we have interviewed about 164 candidates in the last maybe 1.5 months. We were able to pick only two candidates. The hiring ratio, the reason is that I am working for a Standard & Poor who is extremely demanding, so my hiring manager wants the best people on the course. So I think these are the paradigm shifts which has happened. So when we go to the campuses, for these higher education campuses, or any company as of today, they look for the best. Things have changed. I think technology can play a very good role in making sure we meet the speed variable, which is on the efficiency side. One of the one more point I want to bring it here. I don't know whether it is relevant or not. When we go to the campuses, we look for two variables very critically, especially. One is the will, another is the skill. So it's very important while the candidates are very skillful, we also need to see that, we also look forward rather, more than skill. If the skill is on a 7 out of 10 is the will. So which is the effective side of the student. So I think that this is another area which is very critical for when we look for the students. So essentially the companies are looking for people who are students who are innovative. They have done some research programs. Their internship has been very serious. They are not just the talent. It is the attitude which it is the talent with the attitude. I mean, I understand talent. I think the best example which I normally give is Sachin Tendulkar and Vinod Kamble. And if you look back their statistics, Vinod Kamble's statistics was much better in the first class than Sachin Tendulkar. He scored much better. His average was much higher. His number of runs on the board was much higher. But what happened to the Vinod Kamble at the age of 23 when Ambrose bowled him a bouncer? He couldn't handle that bouncer. That's why the attitude needed. So he had the talent, but he did not have attitude to handle that talent. So attitude in this, while Sachin, I think it was a brilliance of his talent, but it was more brilliance of his attitude. How did he handle the talent? So I think that's another area which I don't know how technology can play an important role, but it's the will and the skill amalgamation of both helps the industry, to meet our, the numbers or the targets or the kind of people we look for at the universities. Those are my few cents, and I think as we go, we can add more. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Very well said.